This podcast is brought to you by lineupmedia.fm.
Welcome, Soulardians, and this is Marcus Boston.
I'm Cecil W. Adams.
And we want to thank you for listening to another episode of the Soulardians. And you can find me at Marcus Boston 314.
You can find me at Cecil W. Adams on all platforms.
You can pick up your merch, Soulardian merch, from buyjack.com/the Soulardians.
You can also go down and support Colorado Bob Ship of Fools at 3457 Morgan Ford Road.
We would like to thank you and ask you to like, share, comment, and have your friend listen to the Soulardians. And we would like you to enjoy the show.
Peace.
So I don't know if anybody except Jeff and I know that I've known Jeff since I was a freshman. I'm not known him, but knew who he was since I was a freshman in high school. He was the coach at a rival high school of mine when I was in,
Damn.
Yeah, he was the basketball coach at Vienna. I was at Century High School. So I've known of Jeff, who he was, since I was 13? 14? No, I was 13 when I was a freshman, yeah.
Damn. Well, Jeff, tell us about yourself, Jeff. It's about you now. Enough about me and my bullshit.
Gosh.
Was that your first coaching job at Vienna?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I was
shit.
23.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
I'll give you the short version. Southern Illinois.
Not as far south as me, but
Not as far south. Pretty much 2 hours straight east of here. About 2/3 of the way to Evansville, Indiana.
So you were what?
McLeansboro.
McLeansboro.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
So you ran the voodoo offense.
Nope. No.
No?
That was after people ran the voodoo offense against us because we were good.
Yeah.
But
The voodoo is
voodoo
Four
was Coach
Corners.
Reed.
Yeah. Yeah. He was
holding
there.
the ball. Yeah, that was after me, and so I graduated from high school, went to college, played basketball in college at Rend Lake and at a small school in Wisconsin. And in
Which one?
level, Wisconsin Superior.
Yeah.
So same league as like Stevens Point.
Yeah, I played against Superior.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they were D3 when
They changed to D3 after I left.
yeah, because the only NAIA in Wisconsin was at the time when I was in college, and it was long. I mean, not as long as you, but a long time ago.
It's pretty long.
Was Cardinal.
You got an old shot. I saw what you did. I think
Cardinal Stritch.
Stretch. Yeah.
Yeah. Those dudes were fucking amazing, by the way.
Yeah.
They had all foreign guys, and like we were playing them, and I get on the court, and I'm like, "Hey man, how's it going?" He's like, said something in Polish, and he was like 7 foot dude, and I'm 6'5". I'm like, "Oh, this is gonna be great," and yeah, it was because we got fucking mopped. But anyway, please continue.
So after that, I got my degree
the bottle dead.
as a
No.
math teacher, and became a math teacher. Taught math. Became a school administrator.
Math. So, like, how good at math are you? Like, what's I only passed college algebra.
Okay, so that's a common question I get. The smart ass in me usually tells people, to teach you got to be pretty good at it.
Right,
So I'm pretty good at math.
I like it.
I mean, I'm not like Will Hunting good at math, but
Right.
I'm pretty good at math.
Yeah,
The first class you take for credit in college is calculus,
no, thank you.
and it just goes from there. So it was a big. Math is not.
Can I
like,
buy the intern to replenish the cranberry cream
So,
upstairs? You're
I
great.
did not know math.
Is there?
Jesus
If you can
Christ.
get some more
That-
ice too. Wait, how long?
the anxiety I felt like doing math was so bad.
Yeah.
Empire.
I tell people like math is not a good way to impress women.
Hell
No.
no.
I don't sit around at a bar doing math problems and women are like, here's my number.
Right.
So,
Right. I mean, it worked one time.
The white got
Yeah.
tattoos. The white got the tattoos.
Yeah.
The math wasn't working out.
I had to make up for the math.
I'm gonna try that. The math didn't work, so I got the tattoos. So I worked as an assistant principal and a principal for about 15 years, and that's how I ended up. Got a job in Edwardsville. Worked in Edwardsville for 2 years, and then as an assistant principal in Oakville, and became the principal at Afton, and then left education in 2010, formal education, and started doing suicide prevention work. And about 5 years ago, I started bartending just because a lot of the work I do with suicide prevention, if I'm not at a school, I'm at home, and I wanted to get out of the house. And so I started bartending.
So what do you think is like the lead up?
That's a lot to unpack.
I know.
That is a lot.
It's
to
a lot.
unpack.
You go first. And I'm gonna get my thought together. I thought I
Alright.
had a thought, then you cut me off and I lost it. So
Is he? Oh, sorry. I mean,
no, you're fine.
I was just
Don't
like
worry about it. It's
making it.
vodka.
Yeah, I was just making it known that that's a lot.
That's a lot. That's a life lived. I ain't done shit. Thank you, Jeff. My life ain't done a goddamn thing. I was impressed till right then. I ain't done shit.
What's one of the biggest? Okay, let's start with math. Let's start with the math, and we'll go forward from there. All right.
Did you read his brochure? I read the brochure today. I said, shit, he's way more qualified than the person I am.
The math is boring to talk
No,
about.
no. What coming from somebody that's always had this mental block with math, where it's just like, but now, like as a 40-year-old male, I'm having to like understand. Like I just finally had to be like, you got to get past this anxiety of
Sure.
like looking at these balance sheets.
So
and,
I'll give you my opinion on math in schools, and this is as someone who taught math. I think that I've come to the conclusion that there are basically two kinds of people: those people who can do math and those that can't. And generally, in high schools, the most failed class in a high school is algebra. That's kind of where people, when they're in school, they kind of branch off, and it's like, we're going to go into something into the math area. I can do math. I'm good at it, or I'm not. And so I tell people all the time that I feel like, you don't need to know a lot of math to have a good life. And I mean, adding and subtraction and having a bank account and doing your taxes, you can get a calculator and you can hire somebody to do that for you. So
exactly,
like, being bad at math is not going to make your life terrible.
right?
And
here's one thing that growing up,
having anxiety or stuff that you probably shouldn't have.
No, I know, and it was mostly when I was a kid. Yeah, but here's the crazy fucking thing: is high school. I had my algebra teacher was Miss Bellamy, and failed her class twice. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But then
I can guarantee you're not the only kid that can say that. So
yeah, oh yeah.
you're
She
adult now.
right, and then. But then, when I went and did summer school at Shawnee, got A+ in the math with a different teacher. So this
possible.
I mean, it happened.
Yep.
So and then when I got to college, and on my ACT, my highest score was in math. Which makes that's what's so fucking what the fuck. And then then when I got to college. Under Mr. Diefenbach, I don't know if you remember him from Shawnee Community.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Diefenbach. He had the big mustache.
Yep.
All A's. Every math class I had with him, all A's. But I failed it twice in high school. Algebra 1 and Algebra 2.
Some of it could just be, it's kind of like when you're playing basketball and you're learning a new offense.
Yeah.
And you don't get it, and all of a sudden it just clicks.
Yeah.
And and for some people, it just clicks at a different time. You said you have a different teacher. One of the problems I think in education with high school teachers is some aren't very good at
teaching,
adjusting to adjusting to the kid,
right?
Versus having the kid adjust to them.
Yeah, and it was a different time then. I say that not to be like just put it on that, like it was a different time. No, it was literally like that's when I feel like at that time was the start of like adjusting to how the child learns, right. And Penny was not good at that. And she caused me a lot of anguish in my life, like just so much bullshit that I blame her for. But there again, now as I am, I'm like, fuck, man, like maybe if I would worked harder, but I can remember like sitting there like crying, like trying to figure out, this doesn't make sense, I don't understand. And when I like ask her about it, it's like the biggest fucking problem in the world. And like I just didn't understand at the time. And I learned from it, and I never had a problem with math in college, so which is crazy to me. I don't know how I could struggle in high school, and then when I get to college, it makes sense.
I think for me, like I think JUCO, he tests in the JUCO and they see where you're whatever. My weakest subject was math and maybe writing. Interpretation and reading was fine, but so I had to spend time with tutors to get through college algebra to get my degree in communications. I had to go to tutors, and so the tutors I had to go to the gym, put extra reps up because I couldn't comprehend the process. So
Mhm.
once I had some time with a person that can explain the process the way I comprehend, now my grades are getting different and
Mhm.
getting up because I need you to speak to me in the way I understand. It's like,
So you figured out that you just learn differently.
yeah,
I mean, everybody learns differently, but what you're saying, you figured out the way you learn.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And I just like, hey, I'm not gonna grab the concept she's teaching in this hour and a half. I got to go after school and say, tutor, this is what we're learning. Explain this the way I understand it. Let me practice. Once you explain it to me, then I got the work done. This is how I probably got an A after I had to go put my time in because I wasn't comprehending the process because she was giving it at a way that was faster than I could comprehend for me. So the tutor was like, okay, this is how you do it. Break it down, practice. Are we good now? Can I do it now? Probably not. Because it wasn't important then, but like the tutoring. Like, you had like it's like speaking success is a person only understand failure. I can't only speak to you in the language I understand, but all you hear is the bad news. It don't matter how good I can give you the best fucking news in the world. I said, I got $1 million today. All you heard was I got $1 million, you ain't got shit. That ain't what I said.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
you just can't reach some certain people like that. You just have to understand how you learn and embrace the information, then go forward.
Do you feel that the whole system of standardized tests and the shit that pass fail whatever A B C like the way high schools are right now, I think is a bad product.
Well, first of all, grades, like the ABC grades, are totally subjective.
Archaic.
And like one of the problems in education, although I think there's a movement towards improving this, is like if you might go to a school like Edwardsville, and you might have three different people who teach English 1. What you want to do is make sure that they're all grading and giving the same assignments, so that the kids that go through there, when they finish that course, they there's no way of guaranteeing 100% that they're exactly the same,
Right.
but they want to try to do as best they can to make sure
Right.
that they're very similar. As far as standardized tests, we totally need to reevaluate.
What was the one? Was the Iowa Basic Skills
Yeah,
test?
Iowa Basic
Oh my
Skills test.
god, I fucking hated when that shit came up. That was the fucking worst. Did you have that?
I don't remember that one. I
I
think
bet
I had
there's-
map testing maybe.
Yeah, map testing in Missouri. When I was in Missouri, that was the biggie.
Yeah.
It still is.
And
I
it could,
think-
back in the day, you used to decide the funding for the schools, right? How they did?
No,
Oh, okay.
I mean, they've
That was a misunderstood.
yeah,
thing.
it's kind of a. I've been out of the game so long, 10
Right.
years, that I don't know exactly how things. I know in Illinois now, they have a state the Prairie State exam. I think the kids have to pass before they can graduate. It's
Dude,
They made
that's-
education shouldn't be a business, man. Like everyone doesn't learn the same. Everyone shouldn't be. This is my biggest things. Like as we amplify STEM education, but like the arts is what you learn from civilization. So like
STEM is what?
STEM is like math,
Science.
science, math. Help me, intern. What is STEM?
Science. Engineering.
Engineering. Those are great, but like artists are when you find a civilization, when the dust settles, you see their art before you find their science. So like everyone's not built to be a mathematician or
Right.
engineer. There's
You
people that,
got right brain, left brain.
yeah.
So
We
it's a-
shouldn't punish the people that are
I
meant to
think-
be artists because I'm not a fucking mathematician, but I'm a great
think-
artist.
I think basic finance should have been taught.
Oh yeah,
in schools.
taxes are the business of life should be taught in schools.
I mean, just basic finance. Like in my opinion, I wouldn't be where I would be further ahead of where I am right now if I would have had a basic understanding of finance.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, I could understand how to like balance a checkbook or whatever. Something.
Who has a checkbook? Kill yourself. I'm sorry. That
I-
was very ageist. I apologize. I had a moment. Never mind. Go ahead.
Would you rather me said pocketbook?
I have a checkbook, and I'm very proud of that.
I have a checkbook as well.
Southern
Boom.
Illinois.
Yeah.
Mhm. Take
So
that.
ill, but so anyway,
I'm gonna write a check.
don't write a check your ass can't cash.
That's right. For one of those damn shirts you're gonna sell on the 15th.
July
Marcus
15th.
Boston live. Marcus
baby.
Onesimus Boston live at Big Daddy's upstairs, July
MLB gonna be
15th.
a shit show, baby.
So,
I'm sorry.
so how did going from math to the suicide
Prevention.
prevention?
Okay.
What? I can only imagine the stories.
Just ask it. Just
No, I'm just saying.
how to
Were
get
most
there?
of them?
How to get there?
Well, we'll get to that.
Okay.
What I was gonna say was like, how many of those calls were just a lonely person that just needed somebody to talk to?
Well, I think where you're getting into is the question, which I get a lot, is how many people who are claimed to be suicidal are really suicidal? Does that sound accurate?
It was, I mean,
Kind of along that line.
yeah, kind of along that line. More, I was looking for just like how many of those people are just reaching out for attention compared to
exactly.
yeah.
But there you go.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it right there. How many people are truly suicidal versus how many people are actually just wanting attention?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the answer is very few people who talk about suicide are doing it just for attention.
Right.
I don't want to say that there aren't any, or that the number is zero. Right. There's actually Marcus was mentioning books. I'll tell you the name of an author. His name is Thomas Joyner. He's one of the leading researchers probably in the world. He's with Florida State University. His dad.
Seminoles.
His dad.
Oh,
he
yeah.
was a Texas Longhorn, and he's a professor. I've actually messaged him before. His dad died from suicide, and he's done lots of research, written several books. I've read all the books I could find that he's written, and his answer would be less than 1% of people who are talking about suicide are doing it strictly for attention. Now, I would say that they want attention, but what the attention they want is they want help.
Gotcha.
They're not doing it just for the attention.
Gotcha. Okay. Good to know.
So, now I'm not. I've actually dealt with I dealt with a student one time that I think was doing it strictly for attention.
Right.
But that's like 1 out of 100,000.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
So
fair enough.
Yep.
Marcus, did you get your thought together?
My question is, I mean, it's such a complex question. It's a compound equation.
It's a complex issue.
Bring it back to a little bit of mathematics out here.
Huh.
Well, I mean, what do you think are the variables that bring a person to thinking suicide is a option? Because I've read your bio. You are a 6-time survivor of attempts.
Yep.
So what was the thing that made you feel that suicide was the way out?
Well, it really so that's a very excellent question.
I read books, and I kept away from
and
women.
when I do a presentation, what I do is one of the first questions I ask. Typically, I do when I do presentations. I get in front of students. And I ask them, "What are the reasons someone would die from suicide? What someone would attempt?" And typically, they say the same things. They're sad. They're depressed. Somebody, they broke up with their boyfriend or girlfriend. Somebody died. There's all kinds of reasons. But what it really you can narrow
Traumatic triggers.
Yes, whatever they are, whatever those triggers are. For me, it is I have I'm bipolar, so I take medication, and I've dealt with this since I was in junior high school. I call it junior high school. You all may call it middle school, but
I call it junior high.
12,
Southern
13,
Illinois.
yeah, Southern Illinois is junior high.
Yeah.
So what it really, you can take all of those reasons and narrow them down into one reason. The one reason people think about or attempt suicide is to end pain. That's it. And they're in such pain they don't know what else to do.
Wow.
And so that's really it in a nutshell. You narrow it down to one thing.
Yeah, you're right. It makes sense. It makes sense. It makes sense.
The pain for many people, people who are alcoholics, drug addicts, they self-medicate.
Mm-hmm.
Those are also examples. But really, when it comes down, they can't numb the pain anymore. They don't know what else to do. It's just like, I want to stop the pain, and I don't know what to do. And that was what it was for me.
I just don't want to hurt anymore.
I'm just tired of being in pain.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Simple enough.
It's simple. Most answers in life is very simple, and that was a great answer. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Pain's a motherfucker.
Yeah.
I ain't had much of it, but I can see how it make you want to check the fuck out.
And really, and you mentioned that. I mean, what I tell people is like being in pain, being sad, being in distress is normal.
Mm-hmm.
We're all going to have that.
It's part of the human existence.
It's part of human. You know, however long you live. If you live 90 years, your existence is going to be a roller coaster ride.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be up and down. But hopefully, it starts here and ends here. But those downs, when we're sad, like, you know, if you lose somebody you're close to, being sad is normal.
Mm-hmm.
What isn't normal is being so sad for such a long period of time that you want to kill yourself.
Yeah.
That's what's not normal.
Yeah. The repeated appearance of sadness without
Right.
joy, your balance is off.
Right.
The human existence within the civilization requires a balance to where you can quantify or make sense of your pain because joy is on the other side. All you see is pain and no joy. If all you see is darkness, no sun, I want to be here.
Well, I'm sure you've heard somebody or seen somebody with a quote that says happiness is a choice. Well, that's not always true.
That's not true. Your
It's not
environment is
always
fucking
true.
negative.
Yeah.
No, it's not a
I mean,
choice.
my grandmother passed away a few months ago. I wasn't happy whenever she passed away. Now,
Mhm.
she was 88 years old and she has dementia and really honestly, her death was a blessing to my family and my mother. Watching my mother go take care of my grandmother and have lunch with her every day was very hard to watch,
Mhm.
but it was still sad. So for that period of time, a few days, I wasn't happy and I couldn't choose to be happy.
Mhm.
I didn't want to choose to be happy. Now, after a week or so, I started feeling normal because we're all going to die. I mean, we're all,
Yeah.
that's a normal.
We
part of
all
life.
on borrowed time.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we all on borrowed time. And my thing, how I try to advise, like, embrace the bad, because like once you embrace it, embody it, and give language to it, you can see the joy of the other side. You know, it's like for me, I've made it through this life at 35 and Black in St. Louis. I ain't had a lot of tragic experiences from like car accidents, shootings, murder, like all that kind of shit that you normally would be used to hearing someone Black and a male in St. Louis. I didn't go through that shit, but I know I have, and so I try to be very empathetic and respectful to those that have, and use my privilege and blessing to open my life up to those that have, and be empathetic. Like, you be sympathetic and empathetic. So I can't say I share the same experience, but I'm sympathetic to what's going on. And I'm listening.
Right.
Because I'm blessed enough to not go through that shit. I'm 35. I ain't had none of that shit. I've made it through none of that crazy shit. I go any place I go is peace all the time. Everybody don't have that kind of access and privilege to have that kind of peace to think about the future, to not say, damn, I ain't missing no meals. If I blow money, I'll get it back. You know, so I have those pillars in my life. So like, I'll try to stay humble in my existence to meet people where they at, but hold you accountable through the process and embrace those. What we doing? What's happening?
Oh, she was looking for trash can.
What's happening?
She's looking for trash can.
And this is an experience like
You guys need a training program for the interns.
I never.
In time. I just really feel sorry for you guys because being Marcus's interns might be the hardest.
Don't listen to them. I love my queens. Oh yeah, my life. Like I said, I don't want to. Girl, lemon pepper sound fire.
This is what I'm talking about. Like, Marcus is like, I have interns now.
They told me. I was like, wait, y'all want to work for me? I got me another Louis Vuitton bag next week. Somebody got me one. It won't be me. But yeah, so I just like when I try to walk through my life, like the how I made it to this point was being open minded to know, and I'm the exception to the rules. I don't have those experiences. I never lost somebody in a tragic 3:00 in the morning phone call, or felt like my life ain't valuable or the world ain't as big as it is. Like, I volunteered for Big Brother Big Sisters for like 5 years, and I love that organization, what they do for children, especially being a Black male and being involved in that program. I ain't got shit. I'm broke, but I ain't poor. It's the difference.
Yeah.
So I've been out of it for a couple of years, but like I had Big Brother of the Year. I'm like, I ain't doing shit. Like I'm out here living. No, don't bother me. But like they found value in what I was doing. But like when I want to get back into it, because like I want to show you that the world's bigger than your fucking front door. Like I don't know what you're learning, but I want to show you experiences and stretching your boundaries is important for anybody. You have to see what's bigger than your front door. And like you understanding, like I knew Jeff before I knew who Jeff Face was. I was Jeff. Oh, Jeff is woke, and I hate the word woke, but Jeff, oh yeah, Jeff, fuck them motherfuckers. I was like, who is Jeff? Like, do you know who this Jeff guy is? I don't know who the fuck he is, but I love me some him.
Right.
He gets it, because that kind of stuff comes with right and wrong. It's not black and white. Either you knowing your worth and knowing what your purpose. Like I really realized my purpose was this, but I didn't know what my purpose was for the longest fucking time. But I say, let me do one thing, not fuck up my path to finding my purpose. Because you can fuck around and get the wrong motherfucker pregnant. Your whole life is different. You will never find that motherfucking purpose. I'm just saying generally. You know what I'm saying? Like I had the opportunity to not say, no, I'm not gonna lay into this one because maybe I got something. I don't know what I'm here for. I'm here for something, and this platform is what I'm here for. And now it's rewarding me in such of a process that I appreciate it, and I'm able to bring people in that I wouldn't have found unless I chose to be in a dark league. I chose to I wouldn't have found Cecil if I wouldn't got banned from Knicks. I wouldn't have made it a Soulard. Certain things
Right.
you got to see as an omen, as a positive, as of abundance, and not see living scarcity.
Like you say all the time, it's either you see life as abundance or you see it as scarcity. You know,
Plain and simple.
go ahead.
Well, so I kind of went through
Yeah, PP.
an awakening.
Wait.
Okay. Break time.
You go.
So in 2012,
Uh-huh.
I had just got divorced, and my ex-wife moved to Iowa. And so I was living here in St. Louis.
Oh no shit.
I was living in Edwardsville.
Right.
And she moved to Iowa, and I decided to move to Iowa with her. Not with her, but with the kids.
Right.
So I moved to Iowa, and she remarried. And my ex-wife, I want to say this up. My ex-wife's a wonderful lady, great lady. And
High school sweetheart.
no, like we started dating like when I was right out of college. She was in high school, so we'd known each other I'm 53. We've known each other for 45 years.
Oh Jesus Christ.
So,
Oh wow.
yeah, that's a whole other story.
Right.
So anyway, but I went through this period where I moved to Iowa. I'd never been to Iowa.
Mhm.
The first time I've been to Iowa was when I looked for an apartment. The second time was when I moved into that apartment.
Wow.
So I moved up there from 2012.
Where were you at? Sioux City?
Muscatine.
Muscatine. Okay.
So, so the short story is, I got away for 6 years, and I mean, I came back to St. Louis a lot, visited, and went to see my parents, but I went to a place where I didn't know anybody. Didn't have any history. Nobody knew me. They didn't
That's
know
like when I went to South Dakota. I didn't know anybody. Yeah.
and it was the best thing for another. And what I learned was, and it's kind of my mantra now, is I just try to enjoy each day. That's it.
100%.
I just,
You have to.
I mean, I do think about the future. I mean, I named my kids and
Right.
all that stuff. But for the most part, I just try to take each day at a time. If something happens or there's something like I should be worried about and it's 6 months away, I'm like, let's just compartmentalize that.
Right.
I'm probably because I used to worry a lot about stuff that I didn't even need to worry about.
Mhm.
And so
Mhm.
now it's just like, I'm I just live each day.
I
kind of enjoying
personally,
it.
like, I just, I'm the same way, but I just try to win each day.
Yeah.
You know, just,
And if you don't,
Yeah.
the next day.
yeah, exactly. I don't let it get me down. Never gonna let it get me down. Like, you know, when I learned that giving love without expectation and knowing that everything's gonna be fine, it's always gonna be fine. Always. Like, everything's gonna work out one way or another. And if I want it to be a certain way, then I have to make steps or effort towards that way to change the result to what I want it to be. You know, so each day, everything's gonna be fine. It's always gonna be fine. It's always gonna be fine. So
I don't know how to have a bad day no more. Like
I don't.
I don't.
Oh, did you have a bad day? No, man.
What does that mean?
Yeah,
Like
I mean, I'd still have bad days here and there, but you know,
yeah. I just
how you
I don't
react
dwell-
to
I
it is
don't
different.
dwell- well,
Yeah.
that's what I was telling Cecil.
yeah.
I don't dwell on it. If I have a bad day today, there's always tomorrow.
I'll get it back tomorrow.
You know,
That's it.
don't just enjoy and try to make the best of each day.
That's it. We all on borrowed times. We've
Yeah.
lost some great people
We're all
that
gonna,
did great things.
We're all gonna die.
That's it.
You know,
That's the guarantee
You,
of life.
you'll never come out alive out of this life.
No.
You're never gonna come out alive. Even if I
death is undefeated. in
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Father Time and Death. They both work together. They work for the same
and
company.
the internet. The internet is
The
undefeated.
internet, yeah.
Is
Ooh,
undefeated
internet
as
is
well.
fascinating. Fascinating.
Yeah. So, for me, the fact that I can go on YouTube, like if I am feeling any certain type of way, I know I can, within 2 minutes of me having that feeling, I can go on fucking YouTube and find something inspirational for me to
Yeah.
watch. And
Mm-hmm.
back in the day, we'll call it,
Back in the day.
back in the day before pre-internet, like it was no, like, if you were in your feelings about something, like there was no getting out of it. You could try to talk to people, but you're taking a chance of talking to that person, and that person's going to tell, especially coming from a small town, like that person, you tell Mary Jo about how you're feeling sad about something, Mary Jo is going to tell fucking Niecy Gale, and then Niecy Gale is going to tell blah,
What
blah,
are
blah.
these country ass names. Niecy Gale and Mary
Niecy
Jo.
Gale's actually my mom's name,
Oh shit. I'm sorry. I love you, Mom.
right?
Sorry.
But,
His
You
name name's Cecil.
yeah, true. Or
And
CW.
I had about 9 Jeffs in my class. so
This is the only one Cecil I know and love.
That's one
That's
thing.
how Cecil Fielder.
White people grab a hold of a name and they like.
They
Right.
hold on to that
Yeah.
motherfucker. It's like what was the black name? Not Jeff. What is Jerry Seinfeld real name is Jerome.
Jerome.
Used to be a white name, but it's a black name now.
Jerry
Yeah.
Seinfeld's name is Jerome.
His real
I did
name is
not know that.
Jerome. His actual government name is Jerome.
Hmm.
He goes by Jerry because clearly
Literally just watched 2 days ago the Comedians in Cars Drinking Coffee with Obama.
it's amazing.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Oh,
yeah,
I
it was
never seen that
amazing.
one.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
it's good.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it.
The Secret Service guys, like with him driving the car.
Yeah, Obama's driving the
Oh,
car.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, I did see that. Yeah, yeah.
Obama pulls up and he's like, "Hey, we're just gonna get coffee." And he's like, "Mr. President, you
We're
turn
gonna make a
around."
circle right in this same right. We're gonna make a circle around right.
He's
We're
like,
not going
"Mr.
outside.
President, you know."
Well, they have Obama like working in his office and Jerry's in a window like behind.
Yeah.
like, knocking on the
He
window.
brought a nice ass car too.
Not
Making a
him,
circle
I-
right in
that-
the
It's like
circle. We're not leaving the compound.
64 Corvette.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. We're gonna right here in the circle. We're not leaving the
Obama.
compound, baby.
God, Obama's so cool.
Yeah.
God, you know how perfect. You know how he. That's the America we thought we were.
Well,
Trump
we
is
will be
the
again.
Trump is the America we really are.
Yeah.
Trump, Obama's who we thought we were. That's the America that really lives within us. That is actually
I think I agree with
the
you.
reality of it.
I think what's happened with Trump is like I think that Trump has empowered
the worst of
the
America.
of America to come out in
Mhm.
public.
Mhm.
I really think that
And they're
the
hanging
lowest
themselves.
common denominator.
And they're hanging
You know?
themselves.
But
They jumping off
I
the
don't think
fucking-
that's prevalent,
no.
but I think that like these.
But
these
there
idiots,
also is the okay. In no way am I defending anyone. I don't give a fuck about politics.
we know
But
you voted for him. That's okay.
I know I didn't. I don't vote. I don't. I'm registered to vote. I don't vote. Like because
You're
Pre-
voting. You're voting in November.
for president, it doesn't. My vote doesn't count
Yes,
for
it
shit.
does.
Your vote, those
Yeah,
count.
it
You're
does.
gonna vote.
Yeah, you're voting.
Just we're gonna walk the hand in
I'm
hand.
not.
We're
I'll
gonna
tell you
go
this.
together.
I'll tell you this. Hopefully there's Kanye's on it because I'll vote for Kanye.
Stop.
Like the two old that
Kanye would be worse than Trump. I'm afraid.
right, but it doesn't. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter with presidential stuff. I care about local politics. I've said that many times on here. All I care about is local politics.
That's where it really starts.
There's some truth. I think there's some truth to that.
Yeah. Local politics. What affects me is locally. So here is my thing with the whole political thing, and I'm not a proponent of Candace Owens, but Candace Owens brings up so much fucking. I've watched some of her videos, And the way the left does shit is super fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, did you try
Biden should not be our
to?
option.
No,
He's horrible.
he is fucking.
30 years in the Senate is horrible.
Yeah.
40 years in the Senate is horrible.
Biden is a
And I
fucking
posted
puppet.
that shit. Like, that's the problem.
He's a fucking puppet.
So here, can I tell you what I hope?
He's an asshat. I'm listening. Tell me more.
This won't happen, but this is what I would like to happen.
A redo?
No. Biden is going to select a woman, black woman.
It should be
Kamala.
I like
Nope,
Kamala.
no.
I also like Stacey Abrams.
Stacey Abrams. Whoever it is.
Wait. Camilla Harris?
Yeah.
Kamala Harris.
No, fuck that.
Okay, well, whoever it is.
Finish your thought, Jeff. He's a guest. Quit being.
I know. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I'm not going to predict who it is. Whoever it is, what I would like to see happen is Biden, the day after his second terms, the second year of his first term starts, he's like, you know what? I'm too old for this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to let my VP take over. And then whoever it is, Stacey Abrams, she becomes president.
Mm-hmm.
She can finish that term, and she got 2 more terms to run for.
I like
She
that.
could be
Okay.
president
I like
10
that.
years.
I like that. Black
I'm
women
telling you
say,
right now,
black women make your life better. I'm gonna
Right.
give me one.
the chick from Hawaii is the best possible. My chick that I love so much.
Who's her? What's her name?
No, God damn it! I just
One you love so much.
stop it, sir. The one we talked about on the thing.
What's her name?
Will you stop? I know Kamala Harris is not the fucking answer. I know that.
I'd rather have Stacey Abrams than Kamala Harris. Yes.
Stacey Abrams, the one that lost the governor in Georgia.
She got stolen. The fucking guy that was counting ballots was also on the fucking ballot. Get the
I
fuck
got it.
outta
I got
here.
it. I got it. But
Yeah,
that's
I
the
hate
first.
him.
That's the first political office she ever ran for, bro.
And she's still better than the motherfucker we got in governor at Georgia.
Right.
He's horrible.
So
What
you
is that?
think somebody that has never held a political office should be our vice president?
That one? Yes. If I'm gonna pick one that never had an office, I'm taking that one. Stacey Abrams is well accomplished enough as a human being. I will lead her. She's a black woman. Please govern my life. Yeah, I'm taking that one. If I have to choose a woman to govern my life, I hope she's a black one. You have a whole laptop. Why are you on your phone? Google on your phone. Let me.
I know, but I've got
Oh.
I got some shit pulled up. I don't want to lose it. It's my projection. My projections for the next 2 years. About
you do.
He's got a
You
bunch
have
of porno.
pages. Just do pages. Look at this. What kind of show is this? Where the interns go? They wouldn't got a, They wouldn't got food.
Tulsi Gabbard.
Yes.
Tells.
Okay. If you try to tell me Stacey Abrams is better than Tulsi Gabbard, there's no fucking way.
I'm not. I honestly, at
I would
this
take
point,
Mayor Pete over Stacey Abrams.
Stacey Abrams was in the General Assembly of Georgia for 10 years.
I would say
what's that? I don't know
It's
what
like
that
it's
is.
like being in the House.
I
It's
would
like
take
being
some-
a congressman or a
I would take
congresswoman
some
in the
blackened
House.
chicken to right now. What we got president?
Fuck, bro. Black women save your life.
Tulsi Gabbard. I would
You know
love
what, Chris
my
Rock?
perfect
She was the minority leader of Georgia House Representatives, so she has governing.
state
You know what?
on a state
You got to
level.
start somewhere, sir. Sorry, I know
Well-
Hawaii is so important.
But
For
she's
Georgia.
in Congress though. Like she's in the U.S. Congress. She's not.
Right,
a
but you
state
have to
level-
Tulsi Gabbard is good. She is.
Tulsi's fucking amazing. I'm sorry, dude. I just have the biggest problem with somebody that hasn't been on the government level as far as being over more than just a state, being a leader of the free world. I just have a problem with it.
And I agree with you until now. Clearly, the rules are changed, and we have a fucking asshat in the House. Anyone's available now.
But what he's proven is that the presidency's
need
a
an adult.
fucking joke.
yeah, you need an adult. in the
It's an
room.
impossible fucking job.
But it's
It's an impossible job.
oh yeah, it's a lose-lose situation.
Yeah, even Obama has faults. I loved Obama, but still to this
It
day,
was symbolic. It wasn't functional. It was
100%.
symbolic.
I mean, we've talked about it on this podcast. Like Obama there's an email proving that Obama's cabinet was sent to him by Saks Fifth Avenue, or not Saks Fifth Avenue, but
Real money
Goldman
rules.
Sachs.
Real money rules
Yeah,
politics.
yeah, but when everyone's like, oh, free, like Obama, blah blah, he still got an email. This is people we want on your cabinet, and the motherfucker put those people on his cabinet. I ain't hating on the motherfucker. Good for
The
you.
system's trash. We got to attack
Right.
the system that allows
Right.
that to be
Exactly.
the
Well,
email to send.
And
And the biggest thing is, what's the white chick? What's the white chick? Sorry,
Go ahead.
one more point that I want to make. The chick, the white chick that always everything she does is against Republicans. The Democrat that lost to Biden, old white chick.
From Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Shit.
Pocahontas.
Elizabeth
Warren.
Yes.
Elizabeth Warren is a fucking terrible human
She had a
being.
plan for everything.
She's a terrible fucking
Except for
human
being a
being.
better human being.
All I want is I want fucking left, right. I want to get rid of fucking political parties, dude.
Mhm.
I want all that shit fucking gone.
Doesn't work.
Something that happened, I think the time that we're going through now has shown that no matter who the politicians are, the people have a lot of power. And whenever this whole Black Lives
But then
Matter movement,
Jeff, here's my the only time I'm going to cut you off right now is how do the people have the power if Joe Biden is the fucking Democratic fucking that is
Well,
not the people.
no, but here's my point to that.
Okay.
Is that happened before all this?
Okay, fair enough.
That happened before. And I think what people have to realize is it doesn't matter who's representing us in Washington. When they come out and they're vocal in their district, and with those people are going to listen. And so you're seeing, and it's not just the politicians. It's like the Washington Redskins are changing. They're going to change their mascot. And Dan Snyder a year ago said that'll never happen.
2013, he said, "Fuck y'all."
Never happened.
Well, guess what?
And
the buddy said, "No, you won't."
It's happening now because Nike and all the Amazon,
FedEx,
and so we've got to speak out. I think the thing that I've learned is that we've got to continue to speak out to those people, and I think Black people are learning that they have a lot of power, and that they have a lot of people on their side when they come out.
You got to hold people accountable. You got to hold human beings accountable for their actions. The biggest, my biggest thing is I hate when we say like government. No, government are just people behind a shield of the name of government. Use the motherfucker. So take some time, Google your representative in your district, call the motherfuckers, cuss them out. Just call the motherfuckers and just go crazy.
Right.
You know why? Someone gonna listen to that shit. They'll react because they're human beings. Human beings are flawed, and human beings are malleable. So if motherfuckers call you, let motherfuckers call my phone saying, Soulardians, blah blah blah, cognac in this. I'm gonna say you might have to think about this,
right?
Because we're human beings. We can't ignore voices saying they're either they're distaste for us. Or saying, I love y'all shit. Now, you know what? Fuck it. We're showing titties next week. You know what I'm saying? We are malleable because we're human beings. So you got to understand your power as a human being and also the longevity of your life. Burn the motherfucker. I wish Bernie was available. Bernie ain't here. But the next version of Bernie will show up. But we have to keep our value in the process and change it. Because we're living history. No one from Rome, Egypt, or fucking anyone thought they'd be in the history book. They were just living their life. So, let's say your life is history. You're living history.
Right. So here's another question coming. Granted, it's Candace Owens, who I love. I mean,
was it you? I thought about Candace Owens for somebody else.
That was me talking about Candace Owens, where she brought up the fact that the next election. But the left
2024?
The left will not be there will not be all these Black Lives Matter, like all the left doing all that. It's going to be Hispanic vote is what they're going after. Do you buy into that? I
do from projecting now, but we can't predict 4 years, bro. Like
right.
That's a lot of life is fucking crazy.
Right.
We can't predict the next pandemic. We can't predict certain things that are going to change our perspective on life. But if you look at projections of mortality and like fucking, who's fucking?
Yeah.
And fucking not pulling out, they fucking and not pulling out.
Yeah.
And that means something. They're raising children to have a certain perspective on life. So if we ain't fucking ain't pulling out, all you motherfuckers that are educated and not having babies, that's cool. That's your life. But understand your opinion gonna die with you.
Right. And that's what when she brought that up, I was like, fuck.
Fucking means something. Sex sells. Always have, always will.
I think it's more like where the left's mind goes, and
We got to blow it up. They have to go.
I think there are more
The
people.
establishment
I
has to
think
go
there's
down.
more people that are center left, center right.
Like Chris Rock said, I got some shit I'm Republican about, some shit I'm liberal about. Like, no one's one thing. A human being, I have some shit I'm like, whoa. I'm like, oh, okay. Like,
Yeah,
you're a human being.
all
Oh, he gotta go. We gotta wrap this up.
right.
We
ready?
He got shit to do.
Yeah.
Jeff, give me your clothes. Give me your. I'm sorry. Jeff rolled on his hand. He's like, bitch, I have to go. I got shit to do.
Right. All right. So
I got women to satisfy. I
let's-
ain't playing with
let's
you
shut this
motherfuckers all
down.
night.
I got another ex-wife to find.
Ooh, Jeff. Oh, count the bodies, lay the hose down. Shit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Jeff, thank you so much for coming on, man. I
It's been
appreciate
great.
it.
I want to do this again sometime. This was
Yeah.
Jeff,
fun.
well,
Fuck yeah.
we'll get you back because we got more time. I know my interns are wilding. I don't know what
And
they
then, like,
doing.
they're not earning their money.
I ain't
Well,
paid
they're
them
not
none
paying
either.
them,
So
There you go.
it makes sense. Jeff, give us some closing remarks. Give us closes. Tell
final thoughts, sir.
tell the tribe
Final
tell the
thoughts.
tribe what you want to know. We
All
can
right,
close this
I'm
shit
going
out.
to tell you this. Back to suicide prevention.
Mhm.
Whenever you have somebody that you think is suicidal, don't just tell them to ask for help, because people who are suicidal, they can't do that. They can't ask for help. It's too hard. What you have to do is go to them and tell them that you're going to help them. Ask if you think somebody's suicidal. The first thing you want to do is ask them if they're suicidal, and then help them get help. Take them to the hospital. Call 911. If you don't know what to do, look up on the internet and find resources for them. Don't leave them by themselves.
Look up Jeff Morris on
Message me on Facebook, Jeff
Yeah.
Morris. I've probably got some stupid profile picture. So,
Right. It's fine.
I know.
Jeff
I had to
Morris,
figure
too.
who the fuck he was. It's been 6 weeks.
but that is a thing, and don't give up on them. That's it. That's my
Yeah.
thought for the day.
Right. And where can people find you on your socials?
On what?
On your socials?
On social media, Facebook, Jeff Morris in St. Louis, Missouri. I think on Instagram and Twitter, I'm JDMo at JDMo.
Could you follow us so I can tag you when I put
Yes,
this up?
I will. I'll follow you guys.
If you would tell me in a million years that I would have a coach from Vienna, Illinois,
That's
in my basement.
You have two coaches from Vienna, Illinois in this area. Me and Darren both. Darren Lee's at Collinsville.
No shit.
Yeah,
Wow.
I folled Darren. Former high school. He was my high school teammate.
That's
So
crazy.
he was at Vienna. He left, and I took his place.
It's funny. Like one of my really, really good friends for a long time is Chris Holhuebner. Remember Chris?
Yep.
Yeah.
I do.
Rain Man.
Yep.
They called him Rain Man. That
Yep.
dude, you talk about the best shooter I've ever seen, is that dude.
Yeah.
Out of Sedalia, Missouri. Anyway,
Thanks, guys.
I appreciate you. You can follow me and all social
Jeff, we're
medias.
going to get you out of here. Hold on. Calm
Just-
down. I'm going to
just-
close it
just-
out. I'm going to sign the wall and get you to your host very shortly. Relax. Shit.
At Cecil W. Adams on all platforms.
Soulardians.com for right now. Soulardianmerch.com to buy our shit. The kingdom of God, I'm going to close this out as usual. If the kingdom of God is in you, everywhere you go, leave a little bit of God behind.
A little bit of heaven
A
behind.
little bit behind.
Let's try it again for those in the back.
For those in the back. If the kingdom of God is in you, everywhere you go, you leave a little bit of heaven behind. Cecil closes out.
If you get a chance tomorrow to do something nice for somebody else, you should do that. Because I think we need a lot more of that right now in society.
Love yourself, love each other, and love is all we got.
Peace.
This is The Mob, thanking you for listening to part 1 of this episode. Tune in next week for the conclusion. Always forward.
This podcast was a presentation of lightupmedia.fm.